Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. Today, I want to talk about some news, what's going on here in Zhuhai, China. We're under lockdown. Yes, indeedy, we're under lockdown. So today, I want to talk about the summer of 22 lockdown in Zhuhai. You've probably are remotely aware of this if you've read the Western news or American news. It's casinos in Macao shutting down, the world's coming to an end because of the failures of China and all that kind of blah, 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 blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The full story is Macau has continued to take visitors to that tiny little section of there. And people have come and they play in the casinos and leave. And one or two of the people who visited ended up having coronavirus. And they were discovered to have coronavirus, and so everything shut down. As a precaution, some of the workers who worked at the casino live in Zhuhai, and they ate at a restaurant here in Jida right there. And because of that, as a precaution, everything shut down. Does work stop in China? No, work didn't stop. We just do the work on the computer. 95% of everything we do in today's workforce is done on the computer. And as far as the work in the factories, they're still producing because the people are just locked in their factories. So they're just continuing to work, doing the normal things. As far as deliveries, everything's still going on. The way it works is this. China has divided isolation quarantine measures in different categories. Category 1 is you must stay in your house. You are locked in your apartment. Locked is a brutal word. Basically, you're advised not to go out. Of course, if you do go out, you're caught on camera, and there's punishments for non-compliance. There's cameras everywhere in China, guys. So people just stay in their apartments. It's no big deal, okay? Group 2 is that you stay in your complex. Now, as I've described before, and I will continue to reiterate again, China is clusters of skyscrapers, all surrounded by a fence. They're called housing developments. Each community has its own police, has its own guards and maintenance and everything, and you own a house within this community. So scale number 2, if you're at level number 2, you can get out of your apartment and you can walk within your community, but you can't leave the community. There's a gate and you can't leave it. And there's guards that enforce that. Category 3 is clusters of communities, generally blocks. And that's the quarantine situation that I'm in right now. I'm in a 5-block radius approximately. And I can move about, I can go to the park, things are being delivered or whatever, but we can't really move out of our little area. And it goes on from there. So that's kind of what's going on right now. China treats coronavirus as a very serious thing. As I've said before, they believe that it's an American bioweapon. They have reasons for believing it's an American bioweapon. I don't think the Chinese are stupid. Have you ever gone to school with a Chinese person? From the moment they're born, they're learning calculus, people. They are hard-working, studious people. But if they're not studying, they're disassembling computers for parts to sell for other things. They are just a studious, hard-working, laborious people. And when they come to conclusions, it's based upon facts. And so, so they're treating this very seriously. They're also treat it as something that you cannot live with. So those of you who think that China is going to one day open up and everything's going to be fine and dandy, forget that. That's not going to happen. China is not going to live with this bioweapon. Now, it may not be big news because it's not being reported at all, but the coronavirus cases in the United States are double that what it was last year, which was double the year before. And people are dying in the United States over it. And they're not considering, people are just pretending it doesn't exist. We're living with it, they argue. Now the latest thing is monkeypox. And then there's another illness. That's biological war, people. So I'm doing some work at home, and I really do want to go to the office. I need some peace, routine, and you all know why staying at home all the time kind of sucks, and it's no difference here. This will continue. We've got a 3-day lockdown. 3 days isn't that bad. Maybe extended, but after the test results, because we all had tests, right? The moment the lockdown comes, we just troop on over there and get our tests. And I'm clear. At least I think I'm clear. If I wasn't clear, I would be yellow flashing on my phone, and they would tell me what to do next. But the thing is, and this is I guess this is the whole point of this, is what's being reported and what is not being reported gives the observer, the outside observer, a skewed idea of what's happening. China's falling apart, the world's coming to an end, because that's all you ever hear. And I tune it out now. It's blah, blah, blah. China is blah, blah, blah. But China's going blah, blah, blah. But you know that China blah, 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 blah. That's the way it is right now. And if you want to believe it, I don't give a fuck. You can believe whatever the hell you want to. The power of these organizations are decreased logarithmically as a direct function of their abuse. New York is normalizing the idea of nuclear war, trying to tell everybody how to prepare if there was a nuclear attack on New York City. People, if there's a nuclear attack on New York City, ain't gonna be much left. I don't think you guys have any idea how big these fucking bombs are. And if Russia decides to attack New York City, all the other cities are gone as well. As I've said before and argued, it doesn't take much to push America over. It's a dead man walking. A war is not going to unify the United States because the United States has been at war now for decades, nonstop. It's just another enemy. And yeah, you'll get a percentage of the population will be rah, 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 we must kill those horrible, horrible, whatever. Americans will soon tire of it because Americans have been dumbed down to a point where they're not able to sustain the passions necessary for long duration conflict. The United States has painted itself in a corner. Literally, it is in deep doo doo. It's in big trouble. Society has collapsed. I'm just watching some feeds. Really kind of crappy. Just brazen shoplifting, brazen fighting, shooting out. And you can say, yeah, well, that's part of America today. Yeah, that's part of America today, but it wasn't part of America that I was growing up in. So America's got some real problems. A war is going to aggravate those problems to a point of it'll be the end of the United States. It won't take much, but it'll be over. So yeah, so they got this nice, you got this info baby explaining to people, about what happens. This is basic nuclear stuff that I learned when I was in school back in the 1960s about the radiation, a different type of radiation, and you need to stay inside and all this. American society today, there'll be a nuclear war and people are going to be out and about getting all radiated, not realizing. Even if they watch the show, it's just going to be over. It'll be over. America's done it to itself. News as a sign of decay and collapse, the death throes of a grand society. It's gone. Good riddance. It's happening. Hate to tell you, but it's going. And so that's what's going on with me. We're having deliveries are still being made. Yesterday we had some wine delivered, some potato chips, some noodles, and some Kinder chocolate. What's this with a Kinder being banned in the United States? Because there's little toys inside of it? Come on. You guys gotta be fucking silly. Anyways, my daughter, she loves these Kinder toys. She just thinks they're the coolest thing. She gets a little chocolate candy. She gets a little toys to play with. She just thinks it's the best. The boys' toys are hit and miss. The girls' toys I don't like, but the animal ones are really cool. They're made out of plastic parts and they're substantive. It's kind of cool. Kinder toys. Anyway, we had this stuff delivered, and it wasn't any big deal. So life goes on. It's just that the movement and interaction of people in community has been patted down. So if one of us is detected to be a carrier, then it stops its movement. So that's fine. And okay, and for those of you who believe it's a hoax, go ahead. You can believe it's a hoax. I don't give a fuck. Believe what you want to believe. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You want to believe it's a hoax. You want to believe it's to get people to take mRNA, except they don't have mRNA vaccines. Why do they call them vaccines? They're not a vaccine. It's a temporary cure. It's an mRNA is a temporary cure, and then you have to deal with the consequences afterwards. So that's the way it works. The overall point that I'm trying to make in all this is a very, very simple one. The news is total distortions. They're just lies to make you feel afraid and to give you a warped idea of what the world is like. It's not. China's doing fine. They have a zero tolerance for something that they consider to be a bioweapon. And they've taken up the protocols. People within China live with the protocols, and it's not a big deal. It's workaround for those of people in America. Oh, China's collapsing because, everything's shutting down. It's not shutting down. China's not collapsing. There's nothing bad happening. It's all peaceful. And that's that. So when you read the news, please keep in mind that you're only seeing a very small slice of what's actually happening, and that's presented to you in a very, very distorted way. Okay? And at that, I hope you all have a great day and enjoy everything. I've got other work to do. Like I said, work continues. We just do it at home. And take care. Be good. If you're stuck in the United States, my advice to you is to turn off the damn news and Squawk Box. Go out and work on a garden. Cut up some firewood for the winter. And get some exercise. Start riding a bicycle more than driving a car. I think you'll be a happier person as a result of it. But that's just me. And in all ways and in all days, I hope that you do good. Because, no matter what the hell's going on, I believe in you. Yes, I do. I believe in you. Yes, I do. One more thing. Keep in mind, I believe in you. Yes, I do.
脚踏过8000里炸两句，驰骋在北方的旷野，看那艰巨的征途开始奔赴，怎么生路阻挡我霸业的一根柱？仰望西边，骑着一行白鹿正胸膛，怀着的鸿鹄莫在踌躇，定要收复，就是至胜的军师，一统天下官渡，大丈夫能屈能伸，面下暗箭一甲一身，本曾泯灭过内心的热忱，奈何我周遭四处是偏门，从未想过的罪人，可旁人以为在冒犯我，故宁可我负天下人，再不愿天下人负我。一生去争夺，终沉默，天下分久必合，归你我，驸马名又如何？谁的错？留给世人听多寂寞。不愿去顺从懦弱，遵循不留的原则，为目的不择手段，不罢休的气魄。这天下何人称帝，何人称王，敢与我点燃乱世，狼烟烽火。必须一线的前程，留作纪念去见证。看下风雨前面，我改字传承，手拉于心痕。曾经伤的有多深，败的有多疼，我罪无可赦。如今站的有多稳，大度的隐忍多深不可测。强者才配得仁义，弱者只能被抛弃。我又爬上了高地，命中才服你，谈笑都是道理。谁在狂傲着娇气或消极，或与江山失之交臂？谋头谋略的奥义，小人告密，戳破了奸计。分久必合，归你我，驸马名又如何？谁的错？留给世人听多寂寞。不愿去顺从懦弱，遵循不留的原则，为目的不择手段，不罢休的气魄。这天下何人称帝，何人称王，敢与我点燃乱世狼烟？